Good evening, everyone, and welcome to In the Ladies' Room with Nikki and Michelle. And today we have Nikki, Michelle, Jamila, Colin, once again, we're so great. Michelle, don't start that background noise. Today we are talking about dating over 40. We are revisiting the topic from 2 weeks ago, but tonight we have the men who will be able to join in on the discussion. So we hope that you will all come in with your comments, your opinions, your experience, and anything else you'd like to say. So I'm just going to start off with letting my ladies introduce themselves. So we'll start off with you, Miss Jamila.
Well, hello, beautiful people. How everybody doing tonight? I am Jamila Dukes, and I am a native of Passaic, New Jersey, like everybody else on this panel. I'm well, Miss Carla says she's from Patterson, but I'm from Passaic, New Jersey. I reside in Augusta, Georgia. I have my own podcast called Goddess Gossip that I'm about to relaunch. I am a business owner, entrepreneur, launching a new business. I've kind of like created 2 businesses in the middle of the pandemic, so 2020 has been really great for me. It's phenomenal. I feel great, and I'm honored to be on this panel with you ladies tonight, and I can't wait to see what kind of tea we gonna bring to y'all tonight. I got a feeling it's about to be good.
Yes. Miss Carla.
Hi, everybody. Hi, kings and queens. I love the ladies' room. Let me just say that first. I'm such a fan. I'm Carla T. I'm a native of Patterson. I love that city. Never really hung out in Passaic too much, but I do have some friends that live over there and some family. And Passaic is y'all sister city.
Yes.
And I just like to get straight to the point and cut the chase. Love you guys.
Love you too. Michelle Thomas.
Yeah.
Hello, lady.
Well, listen, I think everybody in the ladies' room already knows me. I am Michelle Thomas, aka Michelle Brown. Born and raised in Passaic, lived in Passaic my entire life. I currently reside in Union, New Jersey, but I'm still Passaic and APP at heart. So here we are.
So, ladies, let's kick off the topic. I mean, maybe we invited the men in, but maybe we scared them off because I don't see any men in just yet. But hopefully they'll join us later. But then we had so much fervor over the last time we talked about dating over 40. The consensus was to bring it back again. So here we go. So with that being said, I did want to ask a question that I don't think we really talked about much last time. And that is, do you think that dating over 40 is a lot different when you've been married as opposed to having been single all your life? So let's get some discussion around that, ladies. What you think? Anybody?
I believe that it probably definitely does have an effect on your perspective of dating and what it is that you're willing to tolerate and not tolerate, being that you've already, if you've been married, or if you've been married and you're single and over 40 and you're like, hold up, wait, I've been down that road. I'm not about to do that now. And I think it would be different for a single person, because like me, I'm single, and my perspective would probably be totally different from a woman that was married that had experience and went through a divorce and XYZ. The standard of dating is probably totally different for what it is that they willing to go through or not go through.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Carla, go.
Oh, I think it would be totally different too for somebody that's been married opposed to somebody that has not been married. At the same token, I think that a lot of single women go into the dating thing with the open mind of becoming married. So that kind of makes it iffy. Dating after 40 probably definitely different in these times than before.
Well, ladies, we're just going to add Sonia. She's with us. Hey, Miss Sonia.
There she is.
I'm so sorry, yeah.
That's okay. We're here.
So, Nikki, give Sonya the question.
So the question is, do you think that dating over 40 is a lot different than for people who were married previously or people who have been single and never been married?
Oh, I think maybe people who've been single for a while, I think it's more difficult, especially if you've been out the game for a while, because this dating thing, it's on a whole nother level. It's
Right.
on a whole nother level. So I think, when you've been single for a while, and I think the older you get, I think it's getting harder and harder.
I know last time when we talked, I definitely agree that the older you get, it is extremely harder than it was, when you were younger. But I think as a person who have been previously married, for me, I really believe that the difference is, I got married so young. I was married at 21 and widowed by 25. So for me, it's like really a weird kind of a spot. But I know that when I was younger and I wanted to be married, I knew that, I don't know if it was because I was young or because I just wanted to be married. You can't tell when you do it so young, but I really wanted to be married. So that was a thing. But at this age, or after being a widow, once I got back into the dating game, I didn't care whether I was married or not. If I did get married or not, that's nice. But if I didn't, that's fine too. I mean, I just knew that I wanted a companion, and I did have certain standards that I was not willing to let down. So I don't know if that makes a difference as to why I'm still single after 50, but it is what it is. But Vanessa Gordon says, absolutely, after being married for 36 long years, I know what I want.
I could see that. I could really see that.
Absolutely.
And that's right there, the difference.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because I'm listening to you ladies, and I actually have a slightly different perspective just because of my situation. So I am happily in my second marriage. And this is how it worked out for me, ladies. This ain't for everybody. This ain't for the weak at heart, right? My divorce was fine. My divorce was final on July 4th, and I got married on January 2nd.
So you knew what you wanted.
I did. I did. And the right man presented himself, and it just worked. It worked out for me. But I have to admit that that's an unusual situation. But I think what happens, particularly when you become a woman of a certain age, it's like basically what you've all alluded to. You get to a space in life where you know what you want, but more importantly, you know what you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that just as women, you start to evolve to a space where, it becomes less of an objective to get married and more of an objective to be happy in the marriage.
Yes.
Right? Because you just decide that there's some foolishness that you're just not going to deal with.
Exactly.
So that's what makes it interesting. But here's the thing. I also believe that dating in this age is also very different from what it was like, let's say, years ago. So let's address that. Let's talk about that.
Honey,
what
you ain't
that
lied.
look like? Huh?
I said, you ain't lied. You don't know whether you need to call them, text them, send them a message on Instagram, DM him, send him a Marco Polo. You don't know how he want to communicate with you. You be like so confused. You don't know how you supposed to build a relationship. It's really, really weird. It's very weird.
And
I have a guy that because he works and he's always on the phone at work, he does not like to talk on the phone. So it's like everything that you communicate with him is via a message or a DM. And it's like the stuff that I'm saying to you can be very taken the wrong way in this message because you're reading it from your perspective and that may not be my intent in what I'm saying. And then it causes a whole bunch of disarray. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. You don't know what to do. It's
and
very
I don't get that, right? I don't get that. So, you know, this whole social media thing is still relatively new in the surface of dating. And so I don't understand how you build a relationship if the only way that we communicate is by text or by emails. Like, that's weird to me.
Like I told my friend, I was like, yo, you missed out on like 70% of communication because you don't get to hear my tone. You don't get to see my body language. You don't get to feel what I'm saying. You only reading it. So if you're in a foul mood, I could be saying something that I meant to be happy, but because that's the mood that you're in, that's how you're gonna read it. And then now we in the messed up space, and now you mad at me. It's just like I don't know. It's a real gray area.
Yeah, the texting thing for me is like I just totally don't like to do it because for the reasons that you stated, a lot of times the way your actual feelings about what you're texting gets lost
in translation.
You took it some other way, and I'm just like, hey, you know, if I'm busy and I'm texting something, you thinking I got an attitude and I'm texting something, that doesn't work for me. And I used to tell my kids all the time, like, they be like, oh, mommy, I'll text you. I'm like, you didn't want me because I don't hear no ping on no text. Like, you call me.
Yeah. And I think that's with any relation, not even relationship, that's with any communication, right?
Yes.
So the challenge with text messages and emails and all that stuff is that it's left up to interpretation.
Right.
And that's the challenge.
Right. Okay, let's read this one from Landy. Maybe weird, but it's possible. I work 13 hours a day and can't talk over the phone a majority of the time. So I guess that will kind of strain on a relationship.
And I do understand it, but it's when you're trying to build a relationship, it's certain times that you have to allow certain things. It's frustrating because I have friends that work swing shifts and you don't know, dating the doctor on call, when you're going to talk to him, when you're going to see him, but you do. That's when you make the proper provisions within the relationship. And if I'm telling you and I'm coming to you saying that I don't do well communicating like that, let's figure out how we could make an adjustment so we could be in the middle so that I can text you, but maybe once out of the day, or I ain't even got to talk to you every day, but if you could give me a phone call so I can hear your voice, I can hear the vibrations in your voice, I can feel your energy. Like, it's a way to balance it out. And I feel like you got to be able to compromise when your communication doesn't matches up with the other person's communication and your schedule don't match up with my schedule. Let's figure it out. But everybody out for self, so it gets frustrating sometimes.
I think it's kind of hard too, because when you're in the dating stage, you don't know each other yet. So it's kind of hard to, feel each other out if you don't know each other. You can't really feel someone if you don't know them. So in the dating stage, that also can kind of throw a wrench in the game. Nikki, I know what you was getting ready to say. I was looking at it too, the comment from John.
Yes. Come on, read it out for us, Carla.
Did we not know what we wanted when we first got married? To the ones that have been married before, Queen Nikki.
Well, like I said, for me anyway, I was so young when I got married that literally, not only was I young when I got married at 21, but my husband I had dated since I was 14. So literally, I kind of fused with him. So I don't know if what I wanted was what I wanted or what he wanted, or if it was just a fusion of our lives because we had been together for so long.
Nikki, I like Crystal Janine Russell's.
Okay, I'm going to highlight it for a second so you can read it, but I'm going to take it off because it's going to cover you and Michelle.
Oh,
okay?
I can read it from the side if you want.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
She said, hello, ladies. This December would have been 32 years. I'm happily divorced. Don't want a full-fledged relationship. I want great mind-blowing sex. The kind that you smoke a cigar after, and I found him. It's been 13 years for us, and he's 19 years younger than me. Do your thing.
Is doing it for her set. I mean, I ain't really mad at you.
All right, Crystal.
I ain't
Do
really
your thing.
mad at you.
Me either.
Me either.
Oh, our security is here.
Yes.
Security in the building. Security, what you got to say?
I mean, because he gonna take a minute to come in, but before we jump on that, I just want to jump back to what John was talking about, where he said, "Did we not know what we wanted when we first got married?" To the ones that have been married before Queen Nikki, I realized that the question was addressed
I think
to
it's for
Nikki.
anybody though.
It was for anybody
Well,
that was married
so
already.
so here's the thing: if we're being realistic, there are many relationships that you have a perception of what it is that you think you're getting into, but oftentimes what we experience, if we're being honest, is that sometimes people just grow apart, right? And you have one expectation for your life, for your relationship, for your marriage, and when that doesn't happen, you start to separate. And so things go left, and then you have to figure out, is this a situation that's worth saving? Do we want to go to counseling? Like, what do we want to do? Or are we better apart? And it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. And so that really brings to my attention a really interesting question. And I want to pose this to all the ladies. You know, when it comes to dating, and I don't even want to get to marriage because I don't want to lay that blanket statement that everybody's interested in marriage. Because I'm here to say that I don't believe every woman is hard pressed to be married. But I do believe we all yearn for companionship of some kind. So there's a couple questions that I want to raise. And one of them is, how do you feel like the disparaged ratio of men to women impacts the way we interact today, right? And what I mean by that is I think far too often, men feel like they have the pick of the litter. So if you don't make the cut, there's 10 women behind you. Because I don't know what the statistics are. I can't even talk. But there's far more women than there are men. So is it a situation where men feel like I can pick and choose who I want, because if you don't cut it, I'm on to the next, right? So there's that. And then there's the situation of, even with the texting, if we're not involving ourselves in organic relationships, how does that manifest into something that can be long term?
So that kind of like, let me just highlight Douglas's question, because it reminded me, what you just said, Michelle, reminded me of what he's saying. There's nothing like hearing from a woman's voice to ease my world. So how do you get to that point where you're in that relationship? And this is what we kind of really, really want to hear from the men, is what is it? What is you're looking for to be in that space with a woman where she is the person that eases your day, or she's the person that you look forward to going home to after a hard day?
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think that it's that's a better question, for the men. I like what Martina Hutchison said.
Okay,
And this is kind of like,
rehearse for her too.
This is kind of for me. Who's gonna read it? Sonia?
I'll read it, huh?
I can't stress enough. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I can't stress enough to just totally be yourself, and as a woman, do what comes naturally to you. Receive and reciprocate. Continue with your routine. Live your life and go with the flow. That's how I
like that. I like that because I'm gonna tell you, to me, dating after 40, see, I don't have time to per se be going to the restaurant trying to eat with properly and all of it. I don't have time for that. Okay. I don't want to do it. I don't want to pretend to be something else that I'm not. I just want to be me, and I'm just going to be me. I don't have time to put on, eating proper, the things that people do, the cliches, when you date, and you can't do this around him the first date or the second date. That's not me. I'm going in me.
Right.
Now, because see, I don't want you to fall in love or to love somebody that I'm not. I don't even want you to get to like that person. I don't want you to know somebody that I'm not. not the tad littlest bit. I don't want you to know that. I'm gonna be me from the door. I'm not gonna, do my hair a certain way, put on heels that I don't wear now. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm not gonna do any of it.
Sonia, you wanted to say something.
No. I agree with Martina. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly.
I want to highlight what John said.
I pose a question. So a lot of us may not even know what knowing ourselves and happiness within self is. So how can we got to get to that space first of knowing who you are and what your worth is and being firm with yourself, knowing that your happiness, that you're going to be happy regardless whether you're in a relationship or not, and that you're good. And I think that when it comes to the guys, every guy, that question that was posed, every guy is going to answer that question, how he said the sound of a woman's voice. Everyone's going to have a different viewpoint of that because peace for every man is different. So we look at it sometimes, I know sometimes we'll provide them what we feel is peace, but that may not be peace for them. So you still have that comes in with the communication. You have to be able to properly communicate, because what I think may be peace for you may not be peace for you. And it may irritate the hell out of you that I'm doing this, but you don't want to hurt my feelings to be like, yo, I don't like when you do that.
So that's about knowing, like what we talked about last time, knowing a person's love language. So what might be good for me, like I know I don't really care about affirmations. You could tell me this is nice and that don't bother. I don't care about that. I need you to do something for me. I need something. So I need acts of kindness, or so, but just because I want acts of kindness does not mean that my mate or companion wants that. They might need for me to say every morning, baby, you look good. Go out there and kill them. I got your back. They might need that. So I have to be okay with the fact that they don't accept or respond to love in the way that I respond to love. But like you said, it's really about knowing yourself. If you don't know yourself, then you won't even know what it is that you need from a person.
Right. I like what John Symes, he's on the roll tonight.
Yes.
He says, I am a man. I can deal with a quick text for quick information. However, whoever I am dating, it is a must that I talk with you on the phone.
I look.
I kind of feel that way too.
I like that.
I agree. I just don't have to talk to you all day. Please don't call me all day, because I may not answer the phone if you call me all day, because I'm gonna be irritated. I already spoke to you today. I love you, all that good stuff. Don't you call me 10 times in a day, because I got shit to do. I have something to do too. And I feel like also that's another thing that comes into play is if you are an entrepreneur or if you're a busy woman, if you have a lot of stuff going on, you need to get somebody that's going to understand that, or somebody that is just as busy as your ass. Because if not, it's always going to be an issue with time and spending time together, or how we going to link up. Like, I'm busy. I can't sit and boo love with you at 12:30 in the afternoon. I can't do that. I don't have time to do that. And if I'm dating you, I don't expect you to be able to talk to me at 12:30 in the afternoon either, because that means you ain't being productive with your day.
Seeing it's about compatibility, right?
Yeah, we gotta be compatible. We have to be compatible. But I think that we've in relationships and dating now, it then became into where it's not relationships, it's situationships. So like everybody got a situationship here, there, over here. And so they just adapt to the situations. I know I'm speaking because I'm not 40 yet. I'm 36. I'm almost there. I'm getting there, y'all. But my generation, y'all, we got situationships. It's like it's hard to even get somebody to commit to being in a solid, real relationship, because why commit when I can have this situationship? I could deal with you, and then I can deal with her, and then I can deal with her, and I'm just dating. I'm single. I'm dating, so I can do this.
So that's a good thing to kind of piggyback on. Being that you're not yet 40, and that difference, like you're not 40, but some of us here are past 50, and what dating is like for people who are even just turning 40 is a whole lot different for people who are turning 50, because that 10 years in between just the technology of dating is so much different. Like, I'm not sending you a picture of my breast. I'm just not gonna do that. But you know, the younger generation might be okay with that. I don't know.
So, honey, listen, the younger generation is sending everything through the inbox. They like, hey, wanna hook up? They not even trying to get to know the man. They just sending their stuff straight through the inbox, like, what's up? Can I see you tonight? Like, wait a minute. And it's so crazy that the guys are thrown off by it. Like, my little brother sent me a message, like, a girl sent to the message. He was like, what does she think? I'm a piece of meat? Like, she didn't even say hi to me. She just was like, can I get the D? Like, that's it. Like, and so, yeah, the my generation and younger, they going in straight for the gusto. They not really, I don't know if it's that they didn't see proper relationships growing up, that they don't value the structure of a relationship or have honor for the structure of relationships, but they out here loose with it. And I feel like it's stuff like doing platforms and providing conversations like this is what the young women need to be able to tap into, so that they can have sources from women that are their elders, so that they know that their body has value. You have value. Having sex with a man and you dating, like, baby girl, you may be carrying his energy around for a year after that moment, and you wondering why your life is shambles because you've been messing with all these men.
But I also think that's part of the challenge, right? Because we dealing in a different time and a different environment, and I feel like a lot of these young ladies are willing to do things that we were never willing to do.
So do you think that makes dating more difficult for them or easier for them? I don't know.
It depends on what you think is worth it, right? So for some, you may think it's easier, but how are you being treated? How are you being valued, right? Are you going to be around for the long haul? And one of the things I just want to throw out there, because I had an interesting conversation, she gonna cuss me out later, but I had an interesting conversation just today with one of my good girlfriends. And we talked about the fact that a real relationship, is always evolving. So it doesn't even matter that you've been together for 20 years. You know, to some degree, you still spending time getting to know each other. And I feel like in relationships, that's a big part of what's lacking, because we live in this microwave culture, right? Where we want everything now, fast and quick. So there's that.
We're not doing the proper work to get to know each other in the process of dating. And then 90 days down the line or 6 months down the line, when they start taking their mask off and turn it into themselves, you be like, oh shit.
See, that's why.
Oh God, no. But this is the person that you dated, and you didn't take the time to get to know them. Like you said, we don't sit and ask the right questions, because we be operating in our feelings. So we don't really dig into the person or dig into their character. I think that dating for character is probably something that we don't do, that we should do. Is let me date you based on your character, not what it is that your Facebook page look like, your Instagram page look like, not your persona, but who are you?
Yes.
Like, who are you? Like, let me date. I want to date that person. I want to get to know the man behind all of the stuff that everybody else sees. That's who I want to date.
And that's why, like, I mean, I know it's a lot more, to me anyway, I think it's a lot more important when you're younger to not just know the character of the man, to know the man, but even to know his family background and lineage. As you get older, that doesn't really mean as much, because you're not necessarily looking to have children. I don't, well, maybe some people are after 40, but I know I would never be looking to have children. So maybe the background is not as important, but it does kind of lend itself to the character of a man, to know what environment they've been nurtured in.
Absolutely.
So do you even look at those things anymore, or is it just, they want to get to know that individual and that's it?
See, for me, I want to know the person. I don't want to know the person that, it's all on social media and all that stuff, because that has a tendency to be not the person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know the person that nobody else knows.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's what I want to know. That I don't want no mask to come off because I'm not gonna put one on.
Right.
So and that's where imbalance comes in at. When you got a mask on and I don't have one on, and you pull your mask off, and I'm like, what the?
Oh yeah,
Who are you?
And that happens a lot.
And when that happens, is when the relationship goes left.
Mm-hmm.
And
that makes so much sense to me. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Carla. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that, I'm just gonna be me. I'm not gonna be putting on those 6-inch heels when I know darn well I'm not gonna put them on no more. I'm not doing any of that during dating. When you date me, literally, you're gonna get who I am. I after 40, nobody has time for that. Who has time for that? Who in this day and age, you know how much work it is to put on a facade?
Mm-hmm.
But we live in a world of social media and where everybody is doing that on a day-to-day basis. The majority of people are doing that on a day-to-day basis, and they haven't really even done the real work to find out who they are because they're living up to the facade of who they are to the world. So that's where it comes into doing that self-work. And the self-work is a lot of the times the work that we don't want to do. You be like, man, I ain't got time to sit down with myself and be quiet and sit with me and God and figure out who it is and what it is I really desire as a woman. Because I know I wasn't taught to sit down, and I wasn't taught to sit down and know that you can have all of the desires of your heart. You don't have to take care of everybody else. Somebody can't come and take care of you. I didn't know all of that stuff. I had to learn that stuff on my own.
I don't think a lot of us at that age was probably, taught that, especially when you was raised like by your grandparents and things like that. Grandma wasn't, first of all, she wasn't even thinking about you in that way to be sitting down trying to tell you, do this, baby, and no. She's more like, let's get up, let's go to church on Sunday, and that's that. And you wasn't dating because guess what? You was getting married. So they didn't teach you the dating steps because as far as they was concerned, you was just gonna be married and wasn't nothing going down before marriage. Mm-hmm. When you was raised by your grandmama, all of this, teaching you all these things, they just didn't. They didn't do it. All they knew was, you're gonna cook, you're gonna clean, you're gonna do, the so-called womanly duties.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, go.
I just want to go back to something that Carla said because it really resonated with me, which was about the whole social media thing. And that's one of the things that we really need to consider, because you could put anything on social media. You could borrow $1,000 from somebody and be like, hey, now you look like you got money, where in reality, you have nothing. So we have somehow turned the corner where we're not really looking for the substance. We're looking at the surface.
Absolutely.
And that's what we need to get past. But Nikki, I just want to address this question because I think it's amazing. Question is, monogamy realistic?
That's what
I got a lot to say.
I'm gonna go on mute because I don't even know how to respond to that.
Come on, I'm gonna
go on mute. I'm gonna go on mute because I don't even know how to respond to that.
You gotta respond to it because that's what I've been waiting to get to that question.
You go.
That's a good one, baby. That's a good one.
Because Kim up here dropping bombs. Bye.
Well, Kim, I really would like for Kim to answer it. Kim, you should let me send you the link so you could come on.
I just sent DY the link. I sent it to him.
Oh, yeah. Good. Thanks.
I want to hear from the men. I want to know from the men. I sent
him the link last night. Why do you? So crazy.
Okay, I have my point of view to this. I don't think monogamy. I don't believe that it's realistic. I don't believe that it's realistic, and I believe that it's a setup because you're gonna desire different people, and we come from empires of people that had multiple wives, and this is how you build empires. And I think, and so this is probably my out of the box thinking, right? Okay. I think that it's just not that realistic.
But even at the 40, when
Kim
you
said,
go ahead.
Wait, Kim said, I don't think so. I believe it's a conscious decision.
Okay. Because see, like what I was about to say to Jamila, after a certain age, I mean, I feel like you're not in that thing where you're trying to necessarily build an empire. Now you're at this stage where you're kind of trying to maintain and pass an empire on to legacy, so that whatever you don't have by 40 and 50, I mean, you could still be building, but it's not necessarily like the rat race of the generations behind you. So at that point, is monogamy. Look, my hopes is just dashed, huh? Because I want to be in a monogamous relationship. If I was going to be in one, I wouldn't be in anything else.
Yeah, so, I'm with you, Nikki. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm like, when I come home.
So my perspective is totally different. Like my perspective is different. I believe that, as she said, it's a conscious decision to be monogamous with one person. But I just think that just think about like social media. Like you get on social media and a man could get on social media, or a woman can scroll through social media and you could be like, damn, every few flicks, every few things, like, oh goodness, wow, she fine. He's fine. I was like, and so people are out for experiences. Like people really want to experience different people and different things. So I know people that's been married for 25 years, but he had a girlfriend for 10 years.
I mean, I think that we all,
you get what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah,
it's his wife was totally happy. She was fine until she found out he had a girlfriend for 10 years. But it was because being monogamous to him wasn't realistic. It wasn't something that worked for him. So what he was getting from his wife, what he wasn't getting from his wife, he was able to get from his girlfriend. And it maintained for 10 years.
I think it's all in who the person is. Okay, because me believing that monogamy is realistic, that makes me also believe whatever he wants, I'm probably gonna do. Like, inside but it can get wild sometimes.
Okay,
it's the grown lady room, right? All right, it can get off the chain sometimes now, baby. I'm gonna keep you happy because I think as long as I keep you happy, monogamy is realistic to me. So I think that it has nothing to do with what a woman won't do. Coming from a woman that probably, will do anything to make them happy. Like,
Kim said, what about what you want, Carla?
Who said that?
Kim.
What about what I want?
Mm-hmm. I guess because you said whatever he wants, you're going to do it.
I don't see it.
Yeah. So what is the?
I probably want what he wants because, yeah, I'm. Some of us is just,
All right, quick question. So Carla, you're gonna do what he wants to do, right? In a monogamous relationship. What if he wanted to add a person into your relationship or into your bedroom, and he said he just wanted this one experience, baby?
That's not monogamy for me. That's not monogamy for me. Then.
But he's gonna continue to. But you said whatever he want.
I also said for me, monogamy is keeping them happy, but that's not monogamy for me. It's me and you. Once number 3 coming in, it's no longer monogamous for me.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
Kim said he want an open relationship.
Wait, let me look. Tim,
what is an open relationship?
No, I can't do that. That's not Open relationship means you can be open to sleep with whoever you want to. And as far as I'm concerned, if I'm saying I'm a monogamous person, then if you want open, then we're not compatible. We don't match.
Got you.
I'm saying keeping you happy in the monogamous relationship. Meaning I'll keep you happy as long as it's me and you. Any open relationship, any bringing third parties in is a deal breaker. That's not monogamy to me.
Got you.
You're one person.
Ladies, we got a man on the screen. Let's hear what the men are looking for after 40.
The only people that's getting in my bed is paying mortgage.
You better say it.
Go ahead.
But that's how some men feel as well. Let me tell you something. this is coming from a man that was married. You understand? Because I was married. For 10 years, I was married. You understand? And to answer James' question, I knew what I wanted when I got married. I got what I wanted out of my marriage, which was my family. Regardless of anything, I was breaking up, the divorce, I still have a family from that marriage. I have kids, now grandkids. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, me as a man, I want to say Sweetback did this, y'all. I swear to God to y'all. And it really, to this day, sometimes I be wanting to in his head because it messed me up. It didn't mess me up. It made me realize what I really wanted. You understand? One night, I'm going to give y'all an example. Me and Brian. So we seen a few chicks I knew before I was in my relationship and everything. So, you know, see a few chicks. I'm like, damn, back, I want them. Right? Now we see another chick, damn, back, I'm going to get them. He see another girl up on me. Yo, back, I'm tearing it up. He was like, DY, let me tell you something. He started laughing. He was like, yo, let me tell you something. You don't want none of them girls. You would like to have sexual relations with them girls. Mm-hmm. Right? So check this out. Now, remember, we're over 40. So I'm like, are you crazy? Now, I go see a young lady. We're about to get into, you know, the activity. And the first thing in the back of my mind was, how much do I really like this girl? You get what I'm saying? Because now I'm thinking about what my friend said to me. And he said this to me, I had to be about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer. It was just when I first got separated. He was like, yo, when he said that, it dawned on me, yo, he right. I don't like this girl. Now that I'm here in this situation with her, it's question, do I really want to be there or not? You understand what I'm saying? So now I'm like, man, I really want to be there. Yo, so I'm gonna run to the store and get a wrap. I'll be right back. And you never came back. You ghosted. Right,
he never came back.
Ghosted. You understand? It's not even that. It's been days where I've literally been into the action and was like, yo, what am I doing here? I don't like this girl like this. First of all, I don't even know enough to like this girl for me to be having sex with her. You understand what I'm saying? So now, and that only comes because I have a conscience and I was raised a little to respect myself. But all that goes out the window, us men, that goes out the window. And I'm not gonna lie. Once we see a woman and we see she got some breasts and you know, she worked honey glue, wow, we on it. We like, yeah, get that. And can't wait to see her at the party to dance, you know, wiggle on her. But then in reality, now would you like to go somewhere and have a drink and talk? Would you like to go for a stroll through the park and build a little, see how, you know? And the first thing I got out of a few women was like, oh, that's corny. And this, that, and the third. But now I'm sitting here saying to myself, well, DY, you've been married once. You've had numerous women that liked you or whatever. That's something you never was bad with. Right now, it's about you. Right now, what do you want? What will make you happy? You understand? First, make yourself happy. Become the person that you want to be and the person that you want another person to receive. Because I have to be a better person than what I was. I can't want to go back to the old, how the marriage was. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can't go back to how the marriage was. My relationship now has to be 10 times better than what my marriage was. Because right now I'm looking to get married again.
So let me ask you this, DY. Let me ask you this. Why does it seem like it takes so long for men to come to the realization that they already have a good girl that they still look at?
It's a generation thing. It's a generation thing. You gotta be able, and I'm gonna tell you why, because a lot of us grew up around good men. You understand? I've seen my grandfather with my grandmother, all my uncles with my aunts. They're all still married. You understand what I'm saying? But I also know the man that these men was. You get what I'm saying? Like, man, my cousins was just talking about my grandfather recently and his indiscretions. And it was crazy because, like, he was at a friend's house on the block that my cousin lived at. And we never knew who house he was in until I got grown. And the friend told me, yo, you know why I used to do this to y'all? Because I came to my house one day, your grandfather, my mother. You understand what I'm saying? Not only that, again, like I said, I've seen men in my family see women, holler at them. I've seen it. You understand? On both sides, not just one side, on both sides. So I gotta say to myself, that am I gonna be that same man? You get what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question though, then, or let me just say this, Derek. And I want to kind of intertwine Francine's comment in with that. So she says monogamy is realistic because it's a choice. If you and your partner agree, then cool. If you and your partner agree to an open relationship, then cool. If you don't come to an agreement, then it's not right. It's not the right relationship. Step off. So this kind of brings back everything, even to what Jamila says. And this is what I kind of think or fear that men have a problem with. Because, and this, to me, this is the definition of cheating. It's the lying. Yes. Because really, if you came to me, you don't know what I would say. You don't know if I would say that it's okay for us to be in an open relationship or not. But you're sneaking, assuming that I would not. Instead of coming to me and being honest with me and letting me know and giving me the choice to decide whether I'm going to be in an open relationship. Because essentially, that's what I'm in. Essentially, an open relationship is what I'm in. When you're cheating on me, I just don't know it. So let me go ahead, Carla. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna piggyback on what you said. See, for me, men don't understand that, like, the ultimate betrayal to a woman is to take their choice from them.
Exactly.
We love our choice. Mm-hmm. Don't choose for me, and I don't know nothing about it.
Exactly.
Like, sometimes, you know, when you even in a marriage, I believe that when a man cheats, if that man sit his wife down and explain to his wife what he did, the ultimate hurt come in the look that I have to put on my face when I get that from somebody else. Mm-hmm. You let somebody else hurt me. Not only did you hurt me, you weaponized somebody else to hurt me because you left it open for it to come to me from the streets.
I love my ladies. I love my ladies now. They drop
that's women's issue. Like, women, we strong. Black women are strong. We are the strongest beings on earth.
We hurt as well. Because guess what? We realize what we've lost. Although it's the past, men realize that. Don't let no man fool you, ladies. I'm telling y'all right now, a man misses a good woman. Do you understand me? Especially when the woman was about him. You understand? Because you don't find women that's about you no more, brothers. I'm sorry to tell you that. You got some good women out there. Great. You understand that it's the same thing. It's a lot of us that's just as damaged as the women because of the things that went on within that relationship. Whether if I brought the stress or the grief, or whether she brought the stress or the grief. Regardless of the fact, at the end of the day, that man, if he's a real man that has some feelings, that man feels the hurt of that lady's presence not being there.
So then how do we kind of get to the place, especially after 40? If you're dating after 40 and you got all of this mess going on, how do we get to a place, other than what Jamila said, to me is the only way we can do it, of where you going into a relationship fully authentic, fully knowing yourself, and being able to either accept a person for who they are or allow them to move on and not be compromising your standards, and also doing things behind that person's back that they might not want. Or just say that again, Carla. What'd you say? You said allowing people to weaponize.
Weaponizing, whether it be women or other men, weaponizing people to hurt me. Because don't get me wrong,
I gotta write that down.
You weaponize anybody. You weaponize other women, because if another woman wants you, she's gonna be happy to come and tell me what you did. Yes. And guess what? If another man want me, he gonna be happy to tell me what you did too. And it might be your boy. Mm-hmm. Either way you throw it up in there. Like I said to somebody I was talking to, one of my friends, people don't a fella realize, right? It's gonna be 3 people in the world when it comes to relationships, right? It's gonna be that person that like you so much, gonna be like, nah, he shouldn't do her like that. That's gonna be the one that's gonna come tell you. It's gonna be the other one that's gonna be like, you know, I bet you she that want to hurt you, so they're gonna tell you. The one that's just that I'm gonna mind my business person, that's the one that's just not gonna tell you. But the other 2, they're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you whether they want you or the man. They're gonna tell you, and they're gonna relish in the hurt that come on your face when you heard it for the first time. Mm-hmm. But I tell you, one way to do it, see, that's about partnership right there. When you could tell me when you did wrong. When you could tell me when you did wrong, and we could talk about it and hurt, and that way when it come from the street, I'm be like, oh yeah, we good. Now you hurt them for trying to hurt you. Mm-hmm. I've been now y'all winning. Yep. You ever seen somebody come try to tell you something about your man or something that you already know? How stupid do they look? They just got this dumb look on their face because they wanted something from your man, or they wanted something from you.
I'm gonna tell you what, like, I went through this. You know what I'm saying? Like I was so big on a girl at one point that I wasn't doing. You couldn't tell me nothing in the world that she did wrong until I seen it for myself. You understand what I'm saying? And somebody told me, but I just so happened to be doing my thing and ran into her doing her thing. Mm. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I literally, and we ran into each other in Port Authority. Bumped heads. I came out the bathroom, went to go upstairs, and she was standing right there. First, I thought she was following. And then a nigga came. You know me back in the 90s. You know, I was a little crazy, so you know. But yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
so D.Y., what you think about this comment though? What you think about this comment that men don't like to show that side of themselves?
I don't have a problem expressing my feelings towards nobody because I know who I am. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit and settle for nothing. I'm sorry. And I hope you're not gonna do the same. You get what I'm saying? Like Carla T said, like, yo, I don't want to talk to you all day. We got business to handle. Better be doing something. I better be doing something productive. We ain't gotta talk all day. But
John,
we know how you feel.
John, I would like for John to elaborate on. He says, y'all do know good men cheat as well. So
get cheated on as well.
Get cheated on as well. They do. So, and this is the truth. So I want to elicit from the men a little bit more of what that experience is like for them, and what does it do to them going to the next relationship? Does it damage you? Are you able to recover and heal and then find new relationships and not bring that past energy in?
I'm gonna tell you what it did to me. It made me evaluate myself. You understand? It made me look at what I was doing wrong. So I know I won't do that in the next relationship. And it's gonna take me some time to find that next relationship because I'm not just jumping to another relationship. I can't do that. I have other people in my life that's involved in that. You get what? Whatever goes on with me, my kids is always around. You understand? You just seen the pre-doc going to office right now, going to the floor office right now. You understand? So this is what I'm doing. I'm daddy 100% all day, every day. So you got to run with that, number one. Number two, I got to make sure they're protected. I can't just bring any type of woman around my kids. I can't do that. I can't bring just any type of woman around my family. I can't do that. I'm sorry, no disrespect to nobody, but listen, if you one of those with them pants, sweat, them nasty, what's the name, pants on, I got standards. Because a lot of women think men don't have standards.
Right.
So
let me go to Kim's comment as well too. I just kind of really want to address that ending part about it, where she says, to Carla's point, sit me down and say, hey, this isn't working for me anymore, instead of just checking out of the relationship. I want to ask the men, but I mean, I want to ask the men, would you have the courage to do that? Are you really, or are you just really going to do like you did the other day? I'm not the other day, but with the other woman, and just ghost her? Because that too is a hurting feeling, to be ghost for.
You know, hurting being somewhere where you know you're not really, like you don't really want to be.
I know, but but like what Kim is saying though, just be honest about it and say, listen, you know what, honey, you look good, you fine, and in another life, this would be on. But right now, I have to be honest with you. I think I'm in a mistake, and I better go home.
Well, that wasn't a dating aspect. That was a what was that? The hit it?
That was a hit it.
And he just decided.
No, but I'm just saying to him, are they
Nick,
open to doing that in a relationship?
Nick, listen, don't get I get invitations still to this day, and I love to say that I got a lady. You get what I'm saying? Because you know what that means to me.
No, but what I'm asking. Yeah, but wait a minute, Derek. What I'm asking you and what I'm asking the men in general is, if they had a lady right now, a companion or whatever, and it's kind of serious, but for some reason they're falling out of love, or they don't want to be there, or they got something else on their mind, or maybe they met somebody else, would you be honest enough to sit that lady down and say, listen, this is not working for me anymore. I really wish you well, but I really would like to leave the relationship now. Yeah, so I would like to know that from you and the other men that are out there listening to.
I'm gonna pull up on you like the trooper and hey, what's going with baby?
I think that goes to the level of communication with the man and how comfortable he is in communicating with you, because a lot of them don't know how to say it, because they still want to nurture your feelings in the process. They don't want to hurt you, but instead of them coming, they think that the truth is going to hurt you, so they'll go about it a different way rather than doing what Carla said, is give me the option of whether I want to deal with this or whether or not. I may not be your cup of tea. That's okay. That's fine. But a lot of them don't know when or how to say, look, baby girl, I've been dealing with you. We cool. We've been dating, but I'm in a different space mentally, emotionally. I think that you're a beautiful young lady, but I'm not interested in dating you and seeing you no more. They don't know how to sit you down and really have that conversation.
They don't. And it's crazy because I've had, like, my kids' fathers. This is crazy. Now, the one, I mean, he just, it's so crazy because all his family still calls me the daughter, the sister. His kids still call me Ma. Now, I sat him down and I had to tell him, like, this is not working. And believe it or not, I didn't want to do it because I was in love with him still. But I knew he could not control himself. And I knew that I just couldn't do it no more. I can't have my girls growing up thinking this is what normalcy's supposed to be like. It's not. Not mama in here cooking, cleaning, take care of not only his child, but his kids from his other past relationships. And you out there running the streets while your kids is here with us, and you out in the street, and I'm taking care of your kids that ain't even mine, and you out there sowing your royal oats still. But here's the thing. And still, years later, you want to get back together, but you're still sowing your royal oats. Boy, bye. Bye.
She said, boy, bye.
Bye.
But that brings up an interesting DY. You know, because we are talking about, in particular, like dating. We said over 40, but really dating at a certain age, right? This is past the boyfriend girlfriend stage. We at a place in our lives where we want strong, committed relationships. But what's interesting, I think you and Carla both bring up this point, is that at this stage, now you start to introduce kids in the mix. Does that also play or impact the dynamic of the relationship when you have somebody else's kids to consider?
Yes. With me, I had my kids. No, I'm telling you, I had my kids so guarded growing up. To this day, my kids say to me, "Mom, I can't believe that you told us the guy was there to fix the cable. I can't believe that, girl. Let me tell you something, okay? If my kids happen to come back from a play date early or weekend early, and he happened to be there, they were not going to know what was going on. Because I cannot have my kids thinking, this is what it is. And my daughter said to me, "Ma, you know what?" She said, I kind of like respect that you did that. Like, we didn't have, Tom, Dick, and Harry around us when we was growing up. That it was not. When you got kids in the game, you have to set the standards because you don't want the generational curses to keep going.
That's true.
Especially daughters.
Especially with girls. So if I'm dating, and I have my kids young, if I'm dating, dating is one thing, but you can't just be introducing to people around, bringing all these people around your kids. I'm with DY. It's some standards here.
Right.
You're not coming around these kids, and now my kids don't bring people to meet me unless they serious about them. They don't even bring them. Not even my son. They don't bring people to meet me. They don't do it unless they're in a serious relationship. They won't do it.
Interesting.
And I really don't want them to. I don't. They young. Don't just, when you get to that person, when you find they serious, okay. Because a lot of times what happens is you dating somebody and then you let go and your family can't let go.
Oh, yeah.
You show up with another date, here you is. Your date from 10 years ago at your family cookout. And you're like, oh, damn.
Listen, the one thing I hate the most is that my ex still intertwines with my family. Mm-hmm. I hate that. You understand? I'm being honest. I really hate that. You know why? Because when she's around and they're this, that, and that. When they around, and that makes my lady uncomfortable. She like, well, damn. First of all, what is she even doing here? We don't have little kids that she need to be around us. That's number one. Our kids are grown. You understand what I'm telling you? Our kids are grown. So with that being said, sweetheart, you got to find you some business right now. I'm sorry, I know y'all. And I see me being the person I am, I tell my family, she's not coming. She ain't got no business here, she ain't coming. That's the bottom damn line. I don't care how y'all take it. But we ain't had it. Because you're not gonna make my situation uncomfortable because you want somebody around. That's not gonna happen. I gotta protect my companion's feelings as much as she gotta protect mine. And at all costs, I can't take her feelings for granted. Because I know when I voice my concerns about something, she's not taking my feelings.
Well, we have run way over time here.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. So,
oh boy, part 3.
I mean,
we said one and done.
I was trying to do one and done, but
I think we need to get some other men. We need opinions of other men. I need more different men to come on the camera.
That's what I was looking for, but nobody accepted my invitation.
I agree. We need men. Men's opinions, men's thoughts, like DY.
I really wanted to see John Sims come in the room, and because he's been having a lot of comments tonight, and I really wanted to be able. Yeah, I really wanted to be able to hear from him.
And also,
you see that comment John just put up there? I'm not dating to be just. I'm too old to be just dating any damn body. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Because Here's the thing. Now, I have a male friend that's like a brother to me. And he's just dating now. I'm not saying any names because I don't want to call nobody out. So he doesn't know what we're talking about him. But he's over 50 like I am. And my thought for him is always this. And I think I speak about this because I'm in this predicament myself. You know, my mother passed, his mother passed. You know, he has other family members as well too. But I also kind of feel in some ways that he's still dating and he's not finding anybody. He's not settled. And I often wonder for him, if something should happen to him, what is he going to do? Because he does have a child, but the child is too little to take care of him. What is he going to do? He has no real companionship because he's still out there everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder that for a lot of men who think that it's okay to be in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and still running around like they're 20. I think that for women, we think differently we are ready to settle down. Whether we want to get married or not is a different story, but we do settle down more. We don't necessarily, at least I know some of the ones that are my age, we're not into that clubbing and going here and there and dating this one and that one. Those are bygone years for us.
So you saying he wanted or he
I don't know. I
wanted
just see he out there everywhere, and it's me, I think, who worries for him more than he worries for himself, because I feel like if something ever happened to him, I guess he'll have to come live with me, maybe. I don't know, because he's not settling down.
Like with me, I was like, yo, I gotta reevaluate this. At the time,
it's an echo.
And Derek, you got a little bit of an echo.
Now I don't.
Right. No, you're good now.
He said, "No, I don't."
Now I don't.
All right.
Now I don't. No, I'm sorry, y'all.
Good.
Like, see, like we men, I don't know how to say it, but we already complicated. And a lot of men be indecisive. They don't know what they want. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, right?
I agree, Nicole.
Some men know what they want at 19, 20. You understand what I'm telling you? And some men just want to play. Again, I just explained something to you guys. You get what I'm saying? In reference to the men in my family, my grandfather especially. I just explained something. He was my grandfather already. You know what I'm just saying? I was walking and I was 13. It's a matter of fact. And I'm saying, damn, my grandfather here. I could ride back to the projects with him. I ain't got the dog. I ain't got the.
I got a question.
I don't have to. And I'm like, well, damn, where is this man? You understand? I've been in the car with him where I fell asleep in the car, where he's somewhere doing him, and he come on out, Calhoun, or whistle, and I jump up. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. So, what was your question, Jamila? I think we're gonna.
At 19 and 20 kids, there's no time to play. You better start getting serious because life is very serious. At 19 and 20, you're gonna be playing and messing around and be having playmates. You know, the little ones. 9 months later, you're gonna have playmates. Ain't no need to play. I promise you, it ain't no need to play. And if you are playing, get you some balloons. Like my mother said, once the balloon bust, the party's over, son. I'm sorry. And I was a firm believer by that. That's why I didn't have no kids. I was damn near 30 years old. You understand? Because I was scared. I don't care about nothing. I was scared. And I'm not even scared. I'm scared of two things: catching AIDS and getting my ass whooped. Excuse my language. Because I came home and said, at a young age, she's pregnant. Pregnant? Why you don't get in there and get that belt and say, yo, go ahead. Because that's how my grandmother and grandfather was coming. They ain't even had none of that. Nah, Kim, So you suggest that they have playmates. I suggest they live life, learn life. You have to learn life.
But the thing is, Derek, what's for you may not be for everybody. So that's the whole thing about dating. This is why we're asking these questions. That at 40, you know, the real truth to this is, do you know yourself enough to know what it is that you want in any relationship, whether it's an open relationship, whether it's dating, whether you want monogamy, you want companionship, you want to be married again. You need to know these questions before you even start, before you get out there.
Right.
So that's the whole issue of it. But anyway, our time is running out, and I do hear echo too. I don't know where it's coming from, but anyway, we running out of time. So I'm gonna say goodbye. We kicking the man out so the ladies can wrap up.
Yo, I appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you gentlemen joining in with us this week. Yes, and I'm glad that you guys came in the room with us, and I hope that you'll come in again. You won't be featured on the screen anymore because this is the ladies' room. But I really appreciate you joining in and adding your comments, and I invite you to come back again and add your comments again. But we're gonna say goodnight. Any of the ladies have any?
I just want to say as we leave, I feel like we only scratched the surface. It just felt like there was so much more that could have been said, that could have been addressed. And I also have to say, while I respect the boundaries, this is the ladies' room. And so, you know, we want to have a safe place for the ladies. It was interesting to really hear some of the male perspective, right? So we could try to get some of the insight around, you know, what they think, what they feel, what they view, what they see. But I really do believe we only scratched the surface. So Nikki, offline, we may have to talk about
doing this again.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But the conversation was just kind of like out there. And I think we were trying to cover so much ground in such a short period of time. And, you know, having these dynamic ladies in here, bringing in so many different points of view and different perspectives was amazing. And so, you know, we'll do Sweetback talking about dual part 2. This was part two. And we thought we would be able to capture everything in this moment. But to everyone who tuned in, to everyone that chimed in, we want to really say thank you. It means a lot to us that you come in and you voice your opinions, and you know, there was so many amazing comments, some of which we weren't able to get to. And I just want to acknowledge you. Please know that we see them. And even if we don't get to acknowledge them on screen, we go back after the shows and we review them. So we see you, we know that you're here, and every comment gets read, and we appreciate you. Look, Johnson says part 3 is definitely needed. So
I agree. Yeah. And Kim said an all-male panel. I could go with that.
All-male. Oh,
yeah. Kim, how are we gonna open the ladies' room and just let it be all men? I don't know. I have to.
You gotta let them in. I promise you. When the men come in, you have great conversations.
To get a different perspective.
It's gonna be amazing, and you got to get the men that have different backgrounds and different experiences in life, because they will give you.
Let me just say this: insight. I may consider a part 3 with the men, but I just want to say, ladies, once again, this is a space for us, and we cannot relinquish our power to men all the time. But I will consider
relinquishing it. We use it to get information.
Yeah, I mean, they are
giving the information.
We need their input on this one,
so we know how to move, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So okay, I'm okay. So I'm almost assured that we'll probably have a part 3, and we'll invite them in. But the thing is, I sent men the link and I asked if they wanted to come on, and nobody.
I have some phenomenal men that would love to chime in that are really good and very articulate. So we'll
definitely do a part.
I did the same topic on my show. And we had women, it was crazy. Like it was really, really good because they were very articulate, and men that were in touch with their feelings. They were vulnerable. They were not ashamed of their experiences. They just were open and honest with their feedback, and it was really, really good. So I definitely say, Nikki, you gotta do. You may have to even do. You may have to even do this once a month for the people, for them to just have this conversation, because it's an ongoing conversation, and it's something that we need to talk about because we need to heal the communication between Black men and Black women. We need to be able to come to a space to where we can understand what they feel, and they can understand how we feeling.
We need to heal the conversation, period. And that's really how
Say that again, Michelle.
I said we need to heal the conversation, period. And that's really how the ladies' room was birthed, right? We wanted to be able to have a space where we could come as Black women, right? And feel safe in our environment. That's how it was born, to talk about the things that impact us and how we deal with it, how we talked about in some of our very early shows, we talked about colorism. We talked about the angry Black woman syndrome. And we just tried to really, talk about the things that impact us, because oftentimes we feel like we have no place to go with this. And we are clearly learning in this world, in this environment, that all we have is each other. And so we want to be able to come together and bounce these ideas and these notions about what we experience off of each other. And the purpose, we hope, we pray, is that we learn from each other, we dialogue. We don't necessarily have to always agree, but this is a safe place. We're not tolerating any disrespect, any negativity. We just want to be able to have a free space where we could talk about the things that impact us and how we deal with them, how we address them collectively. Because some of us don't have the answer. Some of us clam up. Some of us black out. Some of us, how do we bridge that gap? And so that's what this space was born from. I'm excited.
There's a lot of men saying that they're down. John Sims is down. Tim Melton said he's down. So the men they are open to
Honey,
it.
they want to talk to us. They want to talk to us. They got a lot to say. I promise you. I talk to men all the time. They got
offline how we'll move
a lot
forward.
To say.
We'll talk about it offline. So when I end, let's not hang up just yet. But I do want to be very clear that I want a space for women. So I don't know if that looks like an additional show or whatever it is, but I do want a space specifically for women. But I do like the idea of maybe once a month bringing in the men, because really part of me wanting women to heal, African-American women in particular, is so that we can get back to nation building. But we do need the other half.
Come on now.
The nation build. So we'll work on that. Yeah. But anyway, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for your participation, for all your wonderful comments, for hanging in because we went over. But we'll see you next week. We're going to do part 3. What you say? We love you for hanging in there with us. Anybody else want to say any last thing before we?
I just want to say thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Michelle and Sonia, for inviting me on your platform. This was great. This is phenomenal. I live for these kind of conversations. Like, I have conversations for the nation on my show. So I live for these moments. So this was great. This is phenomenal. And it'll be a pleasure to come back and keep continuing to join you ladies so that I could be tapped in and I can learn some stuff from y'all. And we could just share all of that good stuff, all of the good vibes.
Yes.
Anybody
else? Carla, Sonia?
I just want to say thank you, ladies, and especially thank you to DY for joining in. I know that as Black women, sometimes we can be, a bit much for you men to come in and blend with us. But I really respect you, and I thank the men for participating. It's not easy for men to come in a room with a bunch of Black women and just open up. And I appreciate your openness, and I love you guys, and it's been real, and I will see you soon.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Have a great evening. We'll see you next week.